These days, lots of shoppers are on the hunt for value, and many are finding it at growing grocery store chain Aldi.
Seriously, Aldi, if you see this, God bless you, because you are really helping me work on a budget as far as my groceries.
Aldi is doing something absolutely unhinged, and we need to talk about it. They are dropping new products that are so good, people are genuinely sprinting through the aisle like it is a clearance sale at a luxury department store. Grown adults sprinting for German store brand cheese. 12 items that are currently breaking the internet, and 3 that are absolute disasters hiding behind cute packaging and aggressive price tags. Number 1 is the item every Aldi regular has been waiting for, and numbers 3 through 1 will make you question Aldi's decision-making entirely. Let us get into it. Number 15. Elevation by Aldi Protein Bars. Peanut Butter Chocolate Chip. Let us open the countdown with the item that has turned Aldi shoppers into deeply unreasonable people who check the protein bar aisle before they check the produce section. The Elevation by Aldi Protein Bars in peanut butter. Chocolate chip are currently creating scenes. We are talking about a 20-gram protein bar with real chocolate chips, a genuinely chewy texture, and a flavor profile that tastes like someone decided a Reese's cup should also be good for your muscles. The major brands charge $3 to $4 per bar for this level of quality. Aldi is charging about $1.25. That price difference should not be legal. It feels like discovering a loophole in the universe. The shelf life is reasonable, they stack beautifully in a gym bag, and they do not have that weird chemical aftertaste most protein bars use as their entire personality. You know the aftertaste, the one that lingers for 40 minutes. This one does not do that. People are buying them by the case and then coming back the following week looking suspicious when they are sold out. That is the Aldi protein bar experience. One shopper posted online, "I've been eating these for 2 weeks and I've already started planning my meals around them. This is a lifestyle now." That is what a good protein bar does. It quietly becomes a personality trait. You start recommending it to strangers, mentioning it in unrelated conversations, and becoming the protein bar person. You make peace with that identity quickly. The next item on this list is something you thought only fancy grocery stores were allowed to carry, and Aldi just blew that assumption completely apart. Number 14. Specially selected. Whipped ricotta dip. Aldi releasing a whipped ricotta dip is the grocery store equivalent of a small-town diner suddenly appearing in a Michelin guide. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody asked for it. Everybody is obsessed with it. The specially selected whipped ricotta dip has the texture of a cloud that decided to get its life together and become a serious appetizer. It is smooth, it is slightly sweet, and it is somehow both light and rich at the same time. You scoop it with a cracker and immediately feel like you are at a dinner party where you actually know the host and someone has made a real effort. That feeling costs $3 at Aldi. Pair it with honey, pair it with fig jam, pair it with fresh vegetables, pair it with literally nothing, and just eat it with a spoon. At 11 p.m. standing over the kitchen sink. All valid options. It sells for around $3 and change for a container that a comparable upscale grocery store would price at $7 to $9 without a single moment of hesitation. A food blogger wrote, "I brought this to a party and people kept asking which fancy deli I found it at. I smiled and changed the subject." This is the Aldi experience in its purest form. You get to feel like a culinary genius for $3. Absolutely nobody has to know where you got it. That is not just a good product. That is a good secret. Keep a tight grip on your wallet when you are in the dip aisle, because this is the item that turns a quick Aldi trip into a full cart of things you did not plan to buy. Not subscribed yet? Fix that now. We find these Aldi gems every single week and you deserve to know before the shelf is empty. The next item is for the household that has been subsidizing a coffee shop habit because making good coffee at home felt like too much work. Number 13. Barissimo Cold Brew Coffee Concentrate. Aldi has officially come for the coffee shop industry's entire business model, and they are not even apologizing for it. The Barissimo Cold Brew Coffee Concentrate is a 32-ounce bottle of dark, smooth, genuinely well-made cold brew that costs around $4. A comparable bottle at a name-brand grocery store costs $8 to $12. A single cold brew at a coffee chain costs $5 to $7. Aldi is selling you a week of cold brew for the price of 1 cup. That math is borderline offensive to the coffee shop industry. The concentrate mixes with milk or water at a 2-to-1 ratio, which means that 32-ounce bottle actually produces up to 64 ounces of finished cold brew. That is the kind of math that makes you sit down and reconsider every financial decision you have ever made. The flavor is smooth without being bitter, which is a significant achievement for anything in this price category. Most budget cold brews taste like they are trying very hard and failing quietly. This one is not trying. It is simply being good, which is an even harder trick. This one is not trying hard. It just tastes good and costs nothing, and it is genuinely insulting to the $9 options. A caffeine-dependent parent of 3 stated online, "I bought 1 bottle last month. I'm now buying 4 at a time and hiding them behind the vegetables so my partner doesn't know how much I'm consuming." We support this behavior entirely. Caffeinate yourself in peace and on a budget. Ahead is the snack that Aldi shoppers are currently guarding with their actual bodies in the chip aisle. Number 12. Clancy's Poppables, Sea Salt and Vinegar. Sea salt and vinegar chips already have a devoted following that borders on religious. Aldi found a way to make them even more addictive. Clancy's Poppables are the light, airy, hollow chip puffs that hit your tongue with an aggressive punch of vinegar and then somehow make you eat another one immediately. They have the structural integrity of a soap bubble and the flavor intensity of a strong opinion about something. You eat one, and your mouth immediately forgets it happened and demands a second. This is not a design flaw. This is an intentional strategy working extremely well on you. A large bag costs around $2.49. At that price, you will buy them as a casual snack and finish the bag in one sitting before realizing what happened. You will not regret it. You will go back for more. That is the cycle, and there is no escaping it. The vinegar-to-salt ratio is genuinely calibrated well, which sounds like a small thing, and is not a small thing at all when you have eaten bad sea salt and vinegar chips that just taste like mild disappointment. A snack enthusiast reviewed them, saying, "These are the only chips I have ever eaten that made me angry they were gone. I went back to Aldi the next morning specifically for these." Morning chip purchases for a specific product. That is a 5-star review in disguise. The next item is the one that the health-conscious crowd is currently losing their minds over and buying in quantities that suggest they are preparing for something. Number 11. Simply Nature Organic Coconut Wraps. Aldi selling organic coconut wraps at a price that does not make you want to lie down and stare at the ceiling is genuinely newsworthy. The Simply Nature Organic Coconut Wraps are grain-free, gluten-free, and made entirely from coconut. This means they technically qualify for approximately every dietary philosophy simultaneously. They are flexible enough to wrap a full meal without splitting and sturdy enough to hold a legitimate amount of filling without becoming a structural disaster. The mild coconut flavor complements savory ingredients without dominating them, which is genuinely the correct decision. A pack of 6 wraps costs around $3.49. A comparable product at a specialty health store costs $6 to $8 for the same quantity. People are using them for lunch wraps, breakfast roll-ups, dessert rolls with nut butter and banana, and holding them up in the aisle feeling extremely proud. Sometimes the act of purchasing the healthy item is itself the wellness event. The health content is real. Each wrap is low in carbohydrates, high in fiber, and contains no ingredients you need to research before eating. A nutrition blogger wrote, "I gave these to my kids and they ate them without a single question. That is either a win or cause for concern, and I have chosen to call it a win." The kids eating it without complaint is the real achievement here. Coconut wraps have no right to be this universally acceptable. The item coming up next is something Aldi had absolutely no business making this well, and yet here we all are buying 3 packs. Number 10. Specially selected truffle mac and cheese. The words truffle, mac and cheese should not appear on a product that costs under $4. Aldi did not get the memo. The specially selected truffle mac and cheese is a box of pasta with a truffle and aged Parmesan powder sauce that legitimately smells like it belongs in a restaurant that requires a reservation. It is creamy. It is earthy. It has that deep, savory truffle note that makes you feel like you are dining at a place where the menus do not have prices on them. You are not. You are standing at your stove at 7 p.m. in socks, making pasta that costs $3.79. But you do not need to tell anyone that, and nobody is going to investigate. The portion is generous, the prep time is 10 minutes, and the result is something you could absolutely plate on a nice dish and serve to guests without explaining what it is. A home cook posted a video eating it with a candle lit on the table and captioned it, "Aldi Truffle Mac hits different when you pretend you made it from scratch." It does hit different. The candle is optional but recommended. If this product makes your blood boil because you have been paying $12 for the same thing at upscale grocery stores, hit that like button right now. Done? Good. The next item on this list crossed over from a niche Aldi fan favorite into genuine mainstream obsession, and the reason why is completely understandable. Number 9. Kirkwood Chicken Shawarma Street. Tacos Aldi dropped a refrigerated shawarma street taco kit, and the people who found it first acted like they had discovered something that was previously only available to a select few. Because that is essentially what happened. The Kirkwood Chicken Shawarma Street tacos come with perfectly seasoned, thinly sliced shawarma-style chicken, small street taco tortillas, and a garlic yogurt sauce that has absolutely no business tasting this good at this price. The spice blend is genuine: warm cumin, coriander, paprika, turmeric, not the generic taco seasoning that other brands call international flavors. The whole kit cooks in about 15 minutes and produces 4 fully loaded tacos for under $6 total. That is $1.50 per taco. For context, a restaurant shawarma taco costs between $4 and $7 each. You are getting the full experience for a fraction of the cost, in your kitchen, without parking, without a wait, and without conversation with anyone you do not already live with. A home chef who tested it wrote, "I made these on a Tuesday for dinner, and my family asked what night of the week we could have them again. It became a standing appointment." A standing weekly appointment that costs $6. That is the Aldi promise fulfilled to its absolute maximum. The item ahead of this one is quieter, less dramatic, but the shoppers who discovered it have been telling everyone they know about it with an energy that borders on evangelical. Number 8. Simply Nature Almond Flour, 5 pound. Bag 5 pounds of finely ground almond flour at Aldi for around $10 to $11 is the kind of deal that makes people who bake grain-free lose their composure entirely. At most grocery stores, a 2-pound bag of comparable almond flour costs $8 to $12. Aldi is giving you 5 pounds for roughly the same money. This is not a compromised product. The grind is fine, the fat content is consistent, and it performs well in everything from pancakes to muffins to pizza crusts to cookies. The gluten-free, low-carb, and paleo baking communities have collectively identified this as one of the single best value items Aldi has ever stocked. Forums, Reddit threads, and YouTube videos have been made specifically about this bag of almond flour. That is not a normal level of enthusiasm for a flour product. That is the kind of devotion typically reserved for cult snacks and discontinued products. This one is currently in stock. Go get it. A baker who runs a grain-free recipe blog stated, "I drove 40 minutes to an Aldi specifically for this product, and I would do it again without hesitation." 40 minutes. For flour. That is a 5-star review written by someone's legs and backed up by every baked good they made with it afterward. The next item is for the household that has been spending entirely too much money on overpriced versions of something Aldi is now offering at an embarrassing discount. Number 7. Priano Burrata. With basil burrata is a cheese that exists to make people feel like something beautiful is happening in their lives. Aldi has decided you should be able to afford that feeling on a regular basis. The Priano Burrata with basil comes in a 2-pack with fresh basil leaves and a light brine, priced at around $3.49. A single burrata ball at a standard grocery store costs between $4 and $7. Aldi is giving you 2 of them, with basil, for less than the cost of 1 elsewhere. The texture is right, that characteristic yielding outer shell, giving way to the creamy, almost liquid center that makes burrata the most dramatic of all the cheeses. Serve it with heirloom tomatoes, a drizzle of olive oil, some flaky salt, and a slice of crusty bread. You now have an appetizer that looks like you tried extremely hard and cost you about $2 per serving. Nobody at the table needs to know where you bought the cheese. The ambiance will carry the conversation. Accept the compliments with a gracious nod and redirect the topic. Your mystique remains intact. This is the correct play. A food writer tested it against a $7 artisan burrata and wrote, "The Aldi version held up to a direct comparison in a way I was not prepared for. I am processing this." Processing. A legitimate emotional response to an Aldi cheese that costs $3.49 for two. The next item is for the people who have been carrying the gym routine with great discipline and mediocre snacks, and Aldi has finally come through for them. Number 6. Earth-grown meatless. Meatballs. Aldi's. Earth-grown meatless. Meatballs are currently having a moment that extends well beyond the plant-based community and into households that would normally not go anywhere near the words meatless and meatball in the same sentence. That crossover is the real story here. They have a texture that actually resembles a real meatball. Slight resistance on the outside, tender inside, rather than the dense, chalky experience that characterized early plant-based protein products. You can put them in pasta, in a sub, in a soup, or eat them straight from the pan because you are hungry and they are right there. All outcomes are valid. A 16-ounce bag costs around $4.99. Comparable plant-based meatball brands at other stores cost $8 to $12 for a smaller portion. That price difference is the reason people who are not even plant-based are buying them. Value converts. A self-described carnivore posted, "My wife bought these. I ate half the bag before realizing they were meatless, and now I have to completely reassess what I stand for." A complete reassessment of personal values because of an Aldi meatball. That is genuine product impact. Comment below and tell us if you tried the meatless meatballs and whether you were initially fooled. We need to know the numbers. The next item is a seasonal drop that shoppers are currently treating like a limited edition sneaker release. Number 5. Breakfast. Best blueberry. Stuffed French toast. Aldi's breakfast. Best blueberry stuffed French toast contains real cream cheese filling, real blueberries, and thick brioche-style bread. All of it emerges from your toaster or oven, completely transformed into something that should not be possible at this price. 2 stuffed French toast slices cost around $4.49. That is the equivalent of $2.25 per piece. A brunch restaurant charges $8 to $12 for 2 pieces of stuffed French toast and makes you wait 45 minutes for a table first. Aldi eliminated the wait, eliminated the upcharge, and eliminated the social obligation of having brunch with people you only see at brunch. You can eat this in your pajamas at 9 a.m. without having to explain your life choices to anyone in a restaurant. That is not just a food product. That is freedom with blueberry cream cheese filling. The blueberry compote filling does not taste artificial. The cream cheese layer is genuinely creamy. And the brioche bread gets beautifully golden when you cook it properly. A parent of 2 posted, "My kids thought I had made this from scratch. I said nothing. I am keeping this secret forever." The Aldi cover-up tradition continues. Shoppers everywhere are quietly accepting praise for Aldi products, and we are fully in support of this behavior. We are heading into the final 4. Number 4 is the item that the cooking community online discovered 2 months ago and has been recommending with a missionary-level commitment ever since. Number 4. Specially selected everything. Bagel seasoning cream cheese. Everything bagel seasoning on cream cheese is one of those combinations that seems obvious in retrospect, but takes a company with genuine courage to actually put on a shelf. Aldi put it on a shelf. The people rejoiced. The specially selected everything bagel. Seasoning cream cheese is a full-fat, smooth cream cheese packed with the complete everything bagel blend. Sesame seeds, poppy seeds, dried garlic, dried onion, and flaky salt, distributed evenly throughout. It is not a sprinkle of seasoning on top. It is inside the cream cheese. Every single bite has the full experience. On a bagel, it is obviously perfect. On crackers, it is exceptional. On celery, it is a genuine revelation. Eaten directly off a spoon at 11:30 p.m., it is an honest and reasonable decision that requires no defense. The people who judge you for this are people who have never tried it. A container sells for around $2.29. You will go through one container faster than you expect and buy two next time. A food influencer said, "I put this on everything. A plain cracker, a rice cake, a piece of toast, my finger, all of it is good. I have no regrets." No regrets. The highest possible review. Now we are entering the numbers 3 through 1. This is where we stop celebrating Aldi and start being honest with them about 3 products that missed the mark in ways that deserve documentation. Aldi makes extraordinary products. Aldi also makes some genuinely baffling ones. These 3 fell into the second category, and shoppers found out the hard way, so you do not have to. Number 3. Avoid. Specially selected. Calabrian chili flatbread pizza. On paper, a Calabrian chili flatbread pizza from Aldi sounds like the most exciting $7 you could possibly spend in a grocery store. In practice, it is a thin cardboard circle with a commitment problem. The Calabrian chili situation is so light, it is almost philosophical. You look for the heat, you hear a rumor of the heat, and then the heat does not arrive. It is not spicy, it is not bold. It is a flatbread with the suggestion of a feeling that something interesting might have been intended somewhere in the production process. The toppings are sparse in a way that feels deliberate, like the pizza itself is on a diet, and made you buy into the plan without informing you first. You will eat it. You will be functional, but emotionally unsatisfied in a quiet, hard-to-articulate way. You will look at the box again hoping the label explains what went wrong. It will not. The label has fully committed to the bit. The label will not explain. The label says Calabrian chili with the confidence of a product that has never actually tasted itself. A disappointed shopper wrote, "I bought this twice thinking I was wrong the first time. I was not wrong the first time." 2 purchases to confirm the disappointment. That is not a failure of the shopper. That is a failure of the product to be honest about what it is. At $4.49, it is not a financial catastrophe. It is just a waste of your Wednesday night dinner expectations. You deserved better. Moving along to number 2, which is an item that tricked the eye, the nose, and then ultimately failed the mouth in a way that is hard to forgive. Number 2. Avoid. Specially selected whipped honey butter. Spread. Aldi knows how to do fancy butter. They have proven this repeatedly with great results. The whipped honey butter spread is the exception. The packaging is gorgeous. The concept is solid. The execution is somewhere between aggressively sweet and confusingly artificial, which is not where butter should be living. The honey flavor is not the warm, floral, nuanced honey that the packaging implies. It is the loud synthetic honey that reminds you of cheap candy that is trying to evoke honey rather than actually using it. When you spread it on warm bread, the sweetness is the only thing that shows up. The butter component disappears entirely. You are eating sweet air on bread. It is not terrible at room temperature if you are specifically craving something sweet on toast. But compared to Aldi's other specialty butter products, it is a significant step backward. Scones filing formal complaints. That is the level of disappointment we are discussing here. Pastry should not be generating legal paperwork. That is on the product. At $2.99, it will not bankrupt anyone. But it will quietly steal 15 minutes of your day and a small piece of your trust in the specially selected line. Put it back on the shelf and buy the regular salted Emporium. Selection butter instead. Your bread will thank you. Your scones will drop the complaint. And now for number 1 on our list of things to avoid, the item that had the most potential, the most hype, and the most comprehensive failure to deliver on either. Number 1. Avoid. Specially selected lobster bisque. When Aldi puts lobster on a label, they are asking for a level of trust that requires them to deliver something that at least gestures toward the ocean. The specially selected lobster bisque does not gesture toward the ocean. It gestures toward a marketing meeting where someone wrote the word lobster on a whiteboard and then moved on. The bisque is thick, which is promising. It is orange, which is appropriate. It is silky in texture, which is technically correct. Everything about the appearance is doing exactly what lobster bisque is supposed to do. The issue arrives when you taste it. They have the flavor profile of something that was in the same room as seafood once, briefly, before being removed from the situation. The base itself is a perfectly competent tomato cream soup. It is genuinely fine as a tomato cream soup. The problem is that it was not sold as tomato cream soup. It was sold as lobster bisque at $5.49, with a lobster on the packaging that looks more confident than the product inside deserves. Buy the specially selected tomato bisque instead. It is genuinely excellent and honest about what it is. Save yourself the experience of searching a soup for marine life that is not there. The tomato bisque is not pretending to be anything. Respect that. There you have it, 12 products worth sprinting for and 3 that deserve to stay exactly where you found them on the shelf. Aldi is an extraordinary store 90% of the time. The other 10% is a reminder that even the best batting averages involve some strikeouts. Comment below with the Aldi product that changed your life and the one that betrayed your trust. We want to know both stories equally. Click the video on your left for more honest grocery store breakdowns. I will see you there.